Oh, the black screen of nothingness. There's KP. Alright. Hell, wait. Oh, it is pulling through. Hello everyone, just about to join. Alright. KP, can you hear me? Rhea, can you hear
I
me?
can.
Ah,
Yep.
audio is working for the first time without a hitch. Okay, so we'll kick it off. Welcome everyone to another Pawd Squad AMA. We really missed you, KP. We're really glad that you're back. It was a very different Monday.
Yeah, thanks. It's
Yeah.
good to be back.
Yes, and thank you for all the funny videos that you have been uploading in the interim, especially the name ones. I've just been telling KP how much I enjoyed those. And Rhea, thank you for joining us today as well, our producer. But yeah, today is going to be a little bit of a different stream. We're actually going to be talking about content creators, us. So I guess we've had very little questions, but Rhea's going to be asking some questions. But if you have any questions to myself or KP about being a content creator, now's your chance. So this goes from everything from our streams to the videos that we edit and create to anything else that's related to what we're doing even right now. Please go ahead. Maybe some of you want to be in the world of content creating. We'll be happy to share some advice. But if I can start off the question, Katie, because this is something that I felt, and I know it might be a question in chat, but horrible to say, do you think the pandemic was something that enabled content creators like us to excel so far? Because I'm seeing content creators that I have never seen, like they've only been around for a year and they're getting like millions of subscribers. Do you think that the pandemic in some way helped elevate your status? I mean, you've been
It's kind of twofold. Like I feel like the pandemic definitely allowed me to see this as a possible career choice. As a possible avenue for me, but I feel like with that came like the influx of people who were doing this, right? Like
yes, yes.
Twitch saw like enormous spikes in their numbers. Nobody could buy a streaming PC or any of the parts because they were all sold out because people decided this is what they were going to do during the pandemic. So yes and no. Like I feel like it provided opportunities, but it also it also made it very difficult to stand out among like
Yes.
literal millions of people that are streaming every single day.
That have just come
So,
on. Like, as it's like number one TikTok streamers have only been on the platform for a year. For a year. And they're hitting numbers. But I will say from my side, 'cause this was a question that was actually posed to me a week ago, like, why are you doing so well with TAS Talks? And I mean, the variation of what well means is between me having 1,000 subscribers and someone having 10,000 subscribers. But I think if I wanted to answer this question as well, it's like, yes, myself and KP we've almost started at the same time. KP has exploded, but this does entitle a lot of work. So we haven't got a free pass into reaching this. I think it's depending on what kind of content you load, because I have another channel that I have 350 videos for 8 years and it did nothing. I came here at the right time, and yes, but it definitely takes a lot of work. But I absolutely agree. There is a huge market that we have to battle against that has not existed prior to 2020. I did not know you need special streaming PC for stream. Yes. Why do you think I have so many audio issues? It's like I'm pushing my PC to the
Well,
limits.
it's not really like a special
Yeah.
PC necessarily, so much as it just is a like you just have to have like some good specs like that. That was one of my big investments that I made in myself is to buy I didn't even have a gaming PC. So
Like a high-end PC. Yeah, you just need a high-end PC
yeah.
to run all the applications that we do.
Yeah, so I mean it's an interesting question, but I just think that I think I think it's twofold. It goes one of two ways, and like ultimately what I think the recurring theme of what good content creators are doing, this sounds like stupid. It sounds like of course, but they're making good content. And
Yes.
and that's all it takes. It's not, you know, sometimes I feel like you watch all these streamers with these videos and they're like especially you know, this is something that I get a lot is you know, people saying you know, oh well, you're a woman, so you know, obviously people want to come and watch you, which is statistically not true, first of all, but oh jeez.
Yeah, as we talk about technical issues, camera.
Technical issues for me are always like the ferret leaping all over the place. How did he get up there? Fascinating.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair time.
but yeah, so like, you know, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, no, it doesn't really have anything to do with that. I'm just making content that people want to see, you know. So
Context is very important on that topic. It's very important on that topic, and I agree with you completely. I did a study a few years ago about this exact thing, and it's yes and no. Female streamers do gain a fair amount of audience more than a male, but it is depending on the content that they're showing, and the content that they were highlighting is not what like KP's doing. KP has got the look, she's dressed.
well,
it's
see the thing is like, yeah, like you said, like too about context, like because what are most like male streamers who just decide to like stream one day doing? Like they're just like in their underpants eating Cheetos in their basement.
Yeah.
Like it's nobody wants to watch you play Call of Duty. You're not even that good.
That's gone, yeah.
You know, so it's different, you know. I mean, like I feel like women create this is gonna sound stereotypical too, but women just tend to create better content. Like there's more thought that goes into it. It's not just them sitting down to play a game. And but yeah, it's far more far harder to be taken seriously. There's far more harassment for women, and
that,
yeah, and statistically there are far less successful women on content creating platforms than there are men. So I mean, just like the real world, right? Everything's an echo of
the numbers
itself,
are skewed because of the fact that someone who is going to take the clothes off will get a fair amount of views, but for the wrong reasons, versus a female content creator that can create the exact same amount of content as a man streamer. And as you said, it's about who takes more seriously, because don't remember the most popular YouTuber at the moment on YouTube is a man. But you go to TikTok, and it is a girl, and all she does is dances. But again, it's about the context of who's watching what kind of content they're watching. But I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. But if I'm looking at the number one TikToker, and if I had to look at your content and Sean's content and Rachel's content, I find your guys' content obviously more entertaining. A lot more entertaining. It's not that hard to dance and mime songs, people. It is not that hard. It is far
but
more
it's
but
none of that matters. None of that matters really, because they've got the views, right? So like that's the interesting thing about creating content is that you know, you can think your content is great, and some people will. Some people, you know, will no matter what. Like we were just talking about, like you love the bad animal names thing, and I think it's gonna totally flop. I hope it doesn't, but I'm not seeing the views on it, and so you just have to kind of like go with what. Hey, it's the same reason that that we went with that I changed the direction of this channel
Yes.
is because I had to adapt for what my audience wanted to see, and that's adapt or fizzle out into the obscurity
Absolutely.
is kind of like the theme of content creation. But before we get too distracted, because I know we're going to come back here, Monster
Yeah.
the Mink was asking, how much content do you create in advance? So I don't
Ooh,
know,
good
JJ.
one. Um, okay, I'll get it myself because you actually make more content than me. Um, I generally make about a week in advance or to 2 weeks, and it is maximum 3 videos. Um, Mostly because also when it comes to TAS talks, I have to rely on TinyTuber, and trust me, the 5 minutes you get, there's like a good couple of hours behind that. Like, so if it does tank, it is so sad because it's like, wow, we took like 16 hours. But on my side, if I'm editing this stuff, the longest process to me is editing my content. It's very easy to film the content. It's the editing part that limits me to about like 3 videos a week. I posted a video today about highlights of the stream I did on Friday. That took me about 9 hours to properly get done. So, so I wish it was more. I wish I had an editor, but I understand why famous YouTubers now do that. Even though they said I will always edit my software, it is a valuable tool and much needed. But yeah, about 3 videos a week if you're lucky to get it. Most of it is just stream. The easiest thing to do is just stream. But KP,
Yeah, the
yeah.
thing I don't so we're getting better. We now have content planned through October. So that's
So
planned.
you
It's
actually have
not
a
really
content
like
calendar
we
sort
do.
of
We have a
thing.
content calendar.
Nice.
Double made it. Double basically does everything. I pretty much I just like I'm just the hair behind
Yes.
the the stream here. But yeah, I mean, so that this is the furthest in advance that we've gotten though. So we're sitting in a really nice spot right now, and I totally recommend that. But it's hard because sometimes I've got several different platforms that I'm creating on, right? Like YouTube is a big one, and we're investing a
Yes.
lot in YouTube, so that's where our content plan is. But sometimes for my other stuff, it's literally just, uh, you know, I go out and I film something with the animals, and if it happens to be funny, it's gonna go up on, on something. Sometimes I
Yeah.
have an idea, I have a trend that I want to participate in, and I can try to get involved in that. But yeah, that's I think one of the harder things for me because I am not an organized person. So planning content that way, and you know what? And the hard thing is too, is like whenever you don't plan content, this is like several months ago, or like just a couple months ago, really. Like my TikTok blew up with a video, so I'd been planning content and I had been posting twice a day because I was like, this is what you got to do. And then I was like, I don't know what to do this morning. It was like a Sunday morning. I was like, I'm just gonna throw up this video of Kunik banging on ice treats. It has like 50 million views.
And
It
it's
was
such a
not
simple
planned.
thing.
There's no music. It's nothing, and it just blew up. So sometimes I find like that, you just gotta shoot your shot, like and you never know what's going to
Stick.
sort of
And blow
stick.
up.
Yeah, but I've really kind of, especially through TikTok, like figured out that it's all of these videos, even if it's not TikTok, but especially those shorter form content. It's kind of about just a combination of visual and like oral ASMR. Like it's all it is like people want to watch something uh that is like your brain
Switches
shoots
off.
off endorphins when
Yeah,
you
and
when you hear certain noises, or when things click with the music. Sometimes you'll watch somebody's TikTok or video, and like the beats aren't hitting with the music, or the person's lips aren't
yes.
synced with what's trying to be said, and you're just gonna scroll right by it because that's what
Yeah.
you got to do. You have to have you know
You make a good point there.
The
It's like watching those people that do MSR videos of cutting soap and that satisfying thing. And if her lips are perfectly synced, it's satisfying to watch, and it is positive to watch, which is
yeah.
insane. Which I think that's where the humor comes in into videos, because it's like immediate release of endorphins. We have a question here, and I
Yeah.
think okay, I was actually going to follow up that question. It's like, how long does it take actually Double to actually edit some of his videos and things like that? Because
He's getting much faster, but it we have to film no later than Wednesday for our video that comes out on Saturday. So he usually spends all day Thursday and all day Friday editing. Sometimes we will film sooner than that because we my Patreon gets access to, or a certain tier of my Patreon gets access to my videos a day earlier than everybody else.
yes,
Not all of my videos, but about once a month.
yes,
And so sometimes we've got to pump out a video a little bit sooner than Saturday to make sure that they get it. Oh, I've got to change that link, Georgie. Would you mind changing it? It's not Wine and Wins anymore. It's K Passionate. I meant to do that the other day. Actually, I thought I did, but apparently not. Content creation. There
yeah,
you go. But yeah, and so it's yeah, so it takes him about 2 days to edit one of our full-length videos, which is going to be about 10 minutes long or so.
I know,
He is a
right?
bit of a perfectionist. There's some stuff he'll be like, this is really bothering me, and I'm like, I dead ass did not even notice that. Like, so he comes from a film background, so he's very much attuned with some things that I don't think that the normal people would even notice. But that's why it makes it so good, right?
Yeah.
That's why the editing is so nice. But yeah, I 100% wouldn't be able to do this, at least the YouTube, without an editor who I happened to marry. So marry an editor.
Yeah.
Friends.
Oh well, now someone should have told me that sooner. God damn
Yeah.
it! I would have gone even the other way. I would have been like, you know what? Could you edit videos? But yeah, I understand his attention. It's like sort of a chef with their own food, and it's good. It's good to have this because it comes out in the videos, of course. But you can tell Double, I think, from TinyTuber's side as well. We feel his pain. We understand the length it goes to, but the result, as you said, it's like 2 days of work for a 5-minute video that people might not engage with or might. It's like, it's always a gamble. But we've got a question here. Sorry, we are going to get to questions, and then we're going to pop up to Ray very quickly. Do either one of you worry about your safety?
Ray's probably asleep right now.
Do you ever worry about your safety? There are a lot of nuts watching the streams. KP, you can shoot this off first.
Oh, I think as a woman, like, you should always be concerned about that, especially. And especially because I have been, people know where I work. And there's nothing stopping them from coming to work to see me. So, which I welcome. But when if people, I actually haven't had an issue with this, but if people start to not understand boundaries, it's not something that I'm afraid to discuss or whatever. It is the reason that, like, people have been wanting to send us things, send me things, send Jess things, and we've been having them send it to the aquarium because we're just not going to give away our home addresses. And I am going to get a PO box set up because the aquarium started to get pretty mad about all of that.
Which is clever, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's something that is always, it's always worth thinking about, but it's also not worth I don't think living in fear over necessarily. But yeah, I mean, it's something to be considered for sure. But I don't think about it on a daily basis. But it's something that I'm prepared to deal with. But yeah, definitely not giving away my home address and things like that. Or even my personal email address. Like, nobody has that access to that information. So yeah, I mean, it's not something I've had to deal with yet. So, but I do know that I probably will in the future. I've also been pretty surprised because there's a lot of people out there who, really think that people that work with marine mammals or work with any animals that live in zoos or aquariums is, like, really evil. Not lots of people. some very loud, obnoxious people believe this. And
Oh, it's
they
because
are
you looking after an animal in captivity and that sort of thing.
yes, yes. And they are a nasty type of people. These are the type of people who will like send people death threats. And I have friends who've gotten that sort of thing online, and I never have yet. So, and I'm on many different platforms, and so it's interesting. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I don't know.
Maybe it's because you fell into the right community and it sort of drowns
I think
out.
I
And
definitely,
the algorithm
I
knows now who to
definitely.
send your videos to.
Yeah,
So maybe they're fortunate.
I definitely procure a very like a very loving sort of um chat in
Yeah,
my chat and my community, and my mods know that they have the right to ban anybody for doing even like the slightest like
yeah,
creepy thing. We always say like if the vibe is off, the vibe is off, and it's our community, and
absolutely.
we're making sure that it's a safe place to be. So there so Ray has pretty ban happy. She doesn't mess around. But no, I mean it's never people that have been around for a long time. It's always like just people who
Yes.
pop in and are just trolling and stuff like that. She just gets rid of them right away. We never have to deal with it. So
I guess it's like Ray is both the producer and the exterminator. But I think that is one thing that I will say this on the gender factor when we were talking about it, that women do have to worry about that a lot more considerably than men. Unfortunately, it's just the state of the world is that, not saying that there's not creepy women out there, it just seems to be that men seem to just go in there. But I'm very happy to say that you don't have to worry about things like that, and it is nice we have a healthy audience. I don't have to worry. My biggest things have been trolls and drama. That's that's as much of us. I've never felt threatened or there's any danger. It's just been people that have been trolls. Yeah, have had the occasional person. You should go. Uh, they use the K word. You should go K yourself for this rubbish content. But they trolls. You absolutely know they're trolls, and you immediately ban them. But unfortunately, that is.
you develop a really thick
Meh.
skin, which
You
is
start to be like, meh. It's
it's
like,
like who cares? Like it really doesn't bother me.
Like if I look at the
Um,
comments of old videos that someone used to comment negatively and I used to type an essay versus me responding humorously almost now to trolls, it's a very big difference. You're sort of like, not again. But yeah,
yeah, no, I usually don't respond. Oh, also, I don't have time to respond because my
yeah,
mods ban them so fast that I can't even see the comment or what happened. So I just move on.
My goal is always to ban them before anyone notices.
Yeah,
let's
Ray
move.
has eagle eyes for
She
trolls.
does, she does. But let's move on to Araya's question. I actually have a lot of questions on my side that is predominantly relates to UKP, so we might have to cross over to my channel too. Well, I'm just saying, there's a lot of questions on my side, but I want to shoot off one of Ray's questions off, and,
Yeah.
and deal with that.
Actually, yeah, so as you guys have been talking, I've just been marking stuff off, but one of the questions is like, what was your main goal when you decided to become a content creator? What was the goal that you had in mind?
Oh, you want to go first, JJ?
I can, because it's answering one of my questions. One of this was, what's the point of views? Is it for fame or money? Um, on my side, my goal is I have, and sorry, it's a bit of a story. I have debilitating stage fright, and when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a comedian. Because comedian, even if I wasn't funny, I always wanted to be either an actor or comedian. I just had debilitating stage fright, and so when YouTube came about, and I was very lazy, I put it off. It was the easiest thing for me to do to entertain people because I'm in the comfort of my home. I can sort of edit. If anything goes wrong, I can turn it off. Yes, you're still on the internet, but it was a lot more relaxing thing. And when this year hit, and I used to make the small things for the channel, and I started seeing how much people enjoyed it. It's a motivation. It really is. So when I know you guys say we wish you could do more, and sometimes they're like, you guys supporting us and liking our videos and commenting and watching is a massive amount of support for me, and it keeps me going. So when we started doing TAS talks and that, it elevated not just my entertainment value, but also like this could be an opportunity to do something better. So this is why we have donations on Tiltify links and that on our channel, because now it's not just me following someone that wants to make a difference. Now I can actually make a difference. And yes, it does make me feel good. It does. And yes, there is a certain amount. It is nice to be popular. So it's not saying, oh, I don't want to do this to be famous. It is nice to be popular and things like that. But the most thing was I finally have an avenue that I can control, that I can entertain and be what I wanted to be that I couldn't be when I was younger because my anxiety didn't let me. So yeah, it's I've used YouTube to be that person I've wanted to be. I can entertain. But yeah, KP, off to you.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I started because I love video games, and that was my original idea, was for this to be something completely different than what it is, which I feel like is the way that this usually goes, right? And I've often I call this like the year of the pivot, because I've just been like pivoting each and every way to figure out what's gonna work. But I've always loved interacting with people. I've always loved inspiring people about conservation and animals. This is my love for animals. And I got into Twitch just because I was sort of tired of the place that I work and not wanting to do it anymore and wanting to find something else that could be an option. I was like, well, if I can play video games all day, that's going to be great.
Yes.
Of course, it didn't work out that way, because it turns out that nobody wants to watch you play video games all day.
That's a dead era, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to change the way that that was working. But it's neat because through it I've fallen back in love with talking to people and engaging and inspiring people about the planet. And sort of moved through it that way. I mean, I've always liked to talk to people. I mean, as far as like end goals, like I want, like, I feel like some people shy away from saying like, oh, like you said, like, yeah, of course I want to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I want everybody to know who I am. Of course I want that. Of course I want to make money. I don't think that you have to I don't think you have to like want to do this for free in order for it to be a valid thing that you're doing. I mean, it's content creation. It's taking up an enormous part of my life. I actually spend more time doing it than I do my daytime job, so I don't think it's like unrealistic to want to make money from it. That's not necessarily the main motivation.
But it is there.
But yeah, I mean that's part of it. It's a career, like, and I think once people start seeing it that way, it becomes a little bit easier for for people to understand. I think that sometimes people are I don't know, like, just they know that YouTube is free. And so they get to watch YouTube for free, and it's like, well, yes, but when you support your creators when you can,
yes.
That's helping them to create this content for you that
Absolutely.
is free for you to watch. So yeah, so there's definitely all those motivations behind that. But mainly it's just what I want to do for the planet, what I want to be remembered for.
Yes.
And sort of this is going to be like really deep, like what I want to leave behind, because this is like not necessarily anybody's business, but Double and I are not having kids. It's not in the cards for us. It's not anything that we want to do. So, but I want to leave something behind.
Yeah,
and
you have a different legacy to leave behind.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I think this is a really neat thing. This content's going to be there forever.
Yes.
And to leave that behind is, I want to leave a legacy behind that, that people remember and will think about. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the long story to that. But yeah, I don't think that anybody should be like ashamed to say that they do want to make money. I mean, that's. Yeah, like
no,
of course you want to be able to make a viable living. And by the way, I'm still living in like a basement of somebody else's house. So it's not like, it's not like we're making enormous amounts of money. So yeah, I don't think it's not unreasonable to say, yeah, I want to make a couple bucks while I'm at it so that it can sustain what we're trying to do here.
But you touched on a very good point there, is that like it's something that I would love to happen, but I'm not aiming for it as a strong goal. And I think that's like I'm motivated different ways. But I would love this to be a full-time job. I mean, I would just love to pump out content to all of you in every way possible way. It would be a great thing. Right now, it's not sustainable. But I mean, this is, to be honest, I mean, a lot of people asked, why did we start a merch store? I'm like, that's the easiest way that we found that people could support, but that you still get something back. So despite our content, value. You still get something back. And I won't lie, I can have 10 people buy 10 shirts. You get that one person that posts like, look, I'm wearing a shirt, and it's TinyTube has had the same reaction. And we see that person wearing a Tastalk shirt on the other side of the planet. It has a different reaction to us. It's like,
yeah, well, I see people in person. I see them wearing your merch at the aquarium.
Oh my god! So. You see,
I've seen it.
It's such a it's something that I feel good because that person got something back. More than yes, they rewarded us. They said, thank you for support. Here's my numeration. But they got something back, and they're carrying that around. And that's my legacy as well. As you said, it's very important. The best saying I've ever heard is that old saying is like, you die twice. The first time they put you in the grave, and the second time is the last time someone ever says your name. That is a legacy. So this will, as you said, will be online forever. So yeah, you shouldn't shy away. I'm not a shy away from, like I said, I would love to have 100,000 subscribers. It's just, it's a confirmation of our efforts, and we love entertaining all of you. And don't get me wrong, I still love the 1,000 subscribers that I have. It's an amazing, and all of you that are here on the Discord every day, it's an amazing thing. I never thought I'd be in this position, ever. So it's been a different moment.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
Before the questions go out the way, I think, Katie, this was meant for you. I was wondering how rebranding has been going. Are you glad you made a name change? Yes, because Kay passionate.
Yeah, so I've been dwelling on that for a while. I mean, obviously, like I've explained, my journey was like, I was like, I'm gonna drink wine and play video games. Oh my god, this is gonna be the greatest. People are gonna pay me to do it. It's gonna be amazing. And then of course it was like, nobody wants to watch this shit. So I had to go back to my roots and what makes me me. And yeah, I had some help from the chat as well, in discovering what works and stuff like that, and also sort of like there is a sense of purpose to me that comes with doing this type of content. Like, yes, I love playing video games, but does that fulfill my need to have, I'm really lucky that the job that I've had, even though it's incredibly challenging and sometimes not my favorite place to be, at the aquarium, I do usually feel like is making a difference in the world in one way or another. It's a very purpose-driven job. I've never had a desk job and stuff like that. So when I was ready to quit, I was like, forget about all that. Like, I don't need any of this nonsense. But then, take some time and came back to, but this is why I love doing it. It makes a difference. And, so yeah, I mean, there was, there's a purpose behind what I do. And now I feel like we have a really strong direction. And K Passionate is just kind of like, it encompasses, I think, all of what I am, and having it be pretty uniform across all of my platforms, I think is going to be beneficial for all of my channels. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to miss wine and wins, but don't worry, I'm still going to drink wine, and so that's not changing.
But as you say, I think this is a better suiting to your identity of what you're doing.
And again, that's so much of what content creation is. You just have to go with what
you have to evolve.
Go with go with what's working and what people want. So
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. It's like transforming yourself constantly to do what is best for the channel and do what's best for your audience. And he actually raised a good point there. What I've learned about streaming games, because I used to do that religiously, is that people don't watch the video game. They watch you and your personality playing the video game. It's like one of my most
what I
popular-
found
it's depending what you play. I mean, Oregon Trail is like I'll jump on there anytime. It's a rubbish game. Let's be honest, it's a rubbish game. But I'll watch it because it's the interaction of the audience and it's fun. And that moment with Jess is still one of my best moments ever with the
oh
colic.
my gosh, I know.
God.
Colic.
But it is.
No, but I mean, and that's just it. Is like when I was gaming, I found myself just telling people about my day job, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's so interesting," and so then it was like clear that that's what people wanted to see anyway. I mean, I was never. Some people are really good at certain games, and some people are extremely charismatic and good at at talking about their games and other things that make them special. And this is just what makes me special. And so yeah, I'm in love with the name change. I'm not in love with the process of rebranding. Let me tell you.
No, I can imagine. Don't you have to change all your merch as well and all your icons, or you're gonna leave those?
Yeah, nope. So the merch is coming down. So all of my current merch is coming down to be replaced at some point very soon. You might see, like, if you're on my Twitch page, everything in my about has changed. My banners have changed. Things are changing. So and will continue to change. But
so if anyone wants a piece of wine and wins history, you better do it now before it changes.
I already told my chat there was a little bit of a bum rush on some of my my merchandise because I'm taking it all down. So but there'll be new awesome merch too. But
it's definitely that. I mean, one of the people on my channel is Pawd, Tiny Tuber. Her personality when she games is astronomically different to anyone I've ever seen. So she is excelling in that. It's like she is so funny on stream when she plays video game. I'm sure Chad would agree. I can't reach that. Like, we have our quiz night, but it's engaging. But as you said, it's everyone finds their niche and grows from there. So Ray, do you have any questions while I scroll my chat?
So one of the questions that I have down here is, how has your sense of time management improved since taking on content creation?
KP,
oh my gosh, I don't know that it has, guys. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I am just I am really bad at stuff like that. Maybe it has a little bit. I don't know. I feel like now what's nice, I don't know if this counts as like time management, but now I feel like what's nice when I'm scrolling on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever, like I can count that as like work. Like I'm like, this is research. Like, like
it's research.
I'm getting some ideas, so, I don't know.
This is a trend. Let me go on it.
So Double will be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm researching. Mind your own business."
There's no off button when you're on there.
So I'm not sure. I think we've gotten down to like a science exactly how much time we need for making videos and things like that. I get better and better because for a long time I didn't even do TikTok for a long time, which and now in retrospect seems stupid since it's like now one of my biggest platforms. But because I was just like, I can't handle this. I've got Twitter, Instagram, my Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, like it was just too much. And then one day I was like, you know what, I think I can take one more thing. And so it always comes like that, and you kind of find the balance. Like I had to scale back on TikTok when I and honestly, I've seen that in like a lack of I'm still doing fine, but a lack of, serious growth on the platform anymore. I was definitely growing more when I was posting once or twice a day, but that's just unsustainable.
Yeah, because I was just about
It
to
is
ask you
just
about the balance, asking
unsustainable.
for a friend about like
Yeah.
balance, really. Twice a
Yeah,
day,
so
yes.
Yeah. So I think I found a way to incorporate basically the same posts on
Yes.
on all of my platforms, which I think is helpful, and just like make them slightly different on each one. I mean, that suits each um suits each platform. So I think that that's something that I'm getting a little bit better at. I still don't understand Twitter. I don't understand how anybody grows on Twitter. I have like 300 followers on Twitter.
You have to
I'm
have
like,
hot takes. You basically have to know how to
I
manipulate
have no hot takes.
300 characters to either incite,
See, I
entertain.
find that the only thing that I get views on are just my little short videos. So I just pop a cute little short video up there for like, it's like a
Yes.
5-second video, and then I just am like, I try to come up with something clever to say, and then I just am like, all right, whatever. That's my Twitter post.
I
for
won't
the
lie,
day, but-
on our Twitter, our biggest followers are actually from Japan. So
Yeah, I
I'm
have some of that
clicking-
too.
I'm clicking the translate button constantly. But yeah, it's also like I wish I could grow more on there because it's such an easy to use platform. Yeah, I only had okay, well, Taz Talks only has 248. I only said 248 people until you put 248 people in a room, and then you're like, shit. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
mostly,
I know.
it's a totally different. And I thank you to those Japanese viewers that actually watch and contribute. I mean, gosh, you guys are
Yeah.
some of the most kindest souls I've ever seen in terms of words.
Yeah.
But, yeah. In terms
So
of,
yeah, I think time management is something that I still struggle with, and I
Yeah.
ask for help from people. But the problem is, so I ask for help from people like Evil Nav and some other people in my chat have like sent me really awesome advice and even like self-help books and stuff like that. The
yeah.
problem is when you're just like when you're an unorganized, like that's just who I am, right? It's just like an unorganized, unscheduled, like I am just a type B, like, fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. So
Yeah.
the issue isn't that like that I lack the skills to do it. The issue is that I lack the motivation. I just can't be bothered to have this kind of a life, so yeah, no. And Double Livero was asking, no, Double is definitely type B too. So this is so we don't have any, there's no yin to my yang, so we're both just like, yeah, whatever, I don't know. So the fact that we have a YouTube content plan up until October 16th
I'm impressed.
is huge
I'm
for
all
us. So we're very excited about that. But yeah, so like it's just my work style too, and it sometimes like it drives some people that I work with crazy too, because I just they're like, what do you want to do today? I'm like, I don't know, whatever. Just
Don't you feel
I
that's
don't
also
know.
because of it's not even lack of like sometimes the energy button is just not there. Like your brain's running at 100 miles per hour, but it like
Yeah,
your
it's
soul's
not
like,
even like the
nah.
energy. Like I have the energy to do this stuff. I just don't think
take that next step.
that, like, I just don't like to plan things. Like I would just rather them be spontaneous.
Yes.
I don't know. So so that's hard because like I feel bad because people are like, here, let me help you be more organized, and I'm like, actually, I'm not actually super interested in being organized, but thank you. So yeah.
One day. One
That's-
day.
I was about to say with
Yeah.
that voice coming through, that's why people like Ray exist, because if there is something that requires organization, I won't lie, the first thing I'm like, Ray, organize my channel, please. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ray, can you
Yeah,
create
that's
a
exactly
spreadsheet?
that's exactly why you hire people like Reha to like organize your life, because that's who they are, and that works for
And they do it. Damn
that. So
good
that's
job.
basically, yeah, like I mean, I would much rather just like here's some money, will you organize my life for me,
Yes.
please? Thank you so much. Like
Oh shit, you pay Raya? Hey Raya, we haven't need a conversation. Like Raya's like, here's my bill. No, it's definitely a, but yeah, definitely when it comes to admins, because it is true. I can't seem to find the time of day. Like there's so much I want to do for you guys. There's so many TikToks I want to make that's in my mind. Like that'll be a good idea, and then when I actually get down to it, I'm like, I don't have time. Or as you said, I'm like, I'm not gonna do it right now. Right now, I just want to sit down, and do absolutely nothing. But the problem is on me, when I sit down absolutely nothing, I can't relax. My brain's like, you should possibly be streaming. Or,
So
you could be on Discord.
yeah,
Or
I
have you checked this?
I get off on multitasking. This is my thing. I don't know if this is just a woman thing or whatever, but like, so I'll sit down to make some TikToks or make all my content posts for the day, and also be like on the computer checking things, and like maybe walking around, like cleaning up some things and stuff like that while I'm doing it, and that makes me feel good. But yeah, it's definitely time management is a huge issue. Luckily, I haven't really figured out like what's a good posting schedule. Like, I don't think that for most platforms, I don't think it really matters what
Doesn't
time of
exist
day
anymore.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally, like, I think the other day I posted something at like 2 a.m. because I was just like, whatever, who cares?
I've done the experiments, and I realized once you have an audience, that's what gains the traction if it grows. The time thing hasn't really made a massive impact. Although the only time I do a schedule is if I know a lot of my audience and that is working, maybe. Then I try to schedule it for lunchtime, or then we throw it to the evening. That is purely for convenience of the audience. It really hasn't mattered in terms of the numbers. Like, oh, I've got 300 extra views because I posted at this time. That seems to
Yeah.
that seems to
Well,
be
I
good, yeah.
think
Maybe
the
there is,
thing.
but I haven't figured it out yet. For social media, Facebook's a totally different
Yeah.
story. For
It's
YouTube.
it's very weird too, because you have to figure out what you're trying to do. Like, we're I'm over here on Twitch, and honestly, Twitch is a big part of my income.
Yeah.
However, the only reason that I have viewers on Twitch is because of my YouTube channel, of my Instagram, of my TikTok. If all I did was stream on Twitch, I would have exactly the same amount of viewers as I did,
Yeah. So they all
6
sort
months
of
ago.
feed each other.
Yeah. That's the problem, is that you have to do more to get more,
Yeah.
to do more, to get more, to do more, to get more. I mean, it's a thing, and sometimes it is exhausting. Sometimes I wake up like so motivated and I'm ready to go, and I've got so many good
Yes.
ideas, and then sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't want to do this
I
today.
can't just.
You
I
know?
can't.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
I feel like sometimes it's important to just like yesterday, Devil was so motivated. He was like racing through, like we said, like all of the banners and things like that are different, and the rebrand is like really coming together. And he was just so motivated, and I was like, just go with it, man. Like, just go with it, because tomorrow you're gonna want to do absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
You just crack a beer?
No, it's not a beer. It's iced tea, everyone. It's iced tea. It is not a beer. It is way too late in the evening for that.
What?
Snoop you. I
There's
was
no-
like, hey, I have to get up early. So, like, I like this. Did you just crack a beer? No.
I was like, I started to drool a little bit. I was like, oh.
Also, TOS, you never know what the social medias will hit you on these days. Oh, you're drinking alcohol. I know sometimes you can drink wine, but you never know. You never know. That did really sound like a beer.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, like, so that's kind of one of the things that I've found that I need to do for myself is like, if I'm feeling unmotivated, I don't try to force anything, and I don't try to make myself feel bad about it, because there are going to be days when I'm feeling extremely motivated, and so just like, let yourself feel whatever you need to feel, because it's a very weird field, I feel like, because you get out of it exactly as much as you put into it.
Absolutely. The
and
more you
so
put in, the more you get out. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's very easy to sit down and feel guilty about not doing something, because you know that it's going to affect things. But I'm trying to not let that happen anymore, because it's
Unfortunately, that is
not healthy,
something else not to cry about.
beat yourself up.
My anxiety doesn't let me, like, you should go check Discord. Something could be happening. But also, to me, the time zone thing definitely affects me. I wish I could stream at a time that is evening for most of my audience. I mean, someone just, Donna Jones, like, the sun is rising here. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wish we could do that. We did the stream earlier for Japanese fans and it worked out really well, but it's not something that's sustainable. It's like, If everyone asks,
Yeah.
"Hey Jason, why are you up at 3 a.m.?" I'm like, "You know why? I know."
It's like, TikTok.
The
Like,
clock didn't stop. It doesn't stop. Hey? It's a constant. It's a machine that keeps chirking. So
yeah.
that's why I appreciate those that can make it during working hours. I don't know what it's going to be like when everything opens up again and everyone goes back to work. It's something, again, we will need to evolve and transform. But times of thing is definitely a problem for me on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got wow. It's like we're filling up the time here, and thank you for all the responses. Yeah, the difference in people is an enrichment. Yeah. I stream on both platforms though, so I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So maybe it'd be splitting my views, but that's where I get the majority audience. Is the shared views from two separate platforms at the same time.
Yeah. So, and like kind of along those lines and like getting views. I mean, like there's no trick to it. And like somebody's like my chat's talking a little bit about here about how raids help. And you know what? I love raids. And I love when people come in on raids, and I love doing raids on people. They do nothing really for content creators. So there's the thing is like
thing.
Yeah, and it's fun, and we should continue to do it because it is fun. But the thing is, like, and also, this is such a hard thing to wrap your head around. But like, honestly, like the followers don't matter because it costs nobody anything to follow somebody.
Yes.
It's the viewers that matter, and so it's even the same thing on YouTube. The subscribers. You could have 1 million subscribers, but if you only have
10,000 views.
Yeah, because if you only have a certain amount of people who are going to come back time and time again to watch those videos. And so I'm super lucky because I feel like I have a very high ratio of people who come and watch my streams compared to my followers, or of people who watch my videos religiously compared to my subscribers. And I think that that's a better number to have. So the raids, like, yeah, you might get some follows from it. People toss you a follow, but are they going to come back and watch? And probably not. If you can capture 1 or 2 of them and they do come back
Those are
again,
the valuable ones.
then you're doing a great job. But yeah, the raids are not a significant help to, and I think it's something that like, especially as a teeny
as they come
tiny
into the raid. Yeah, it's like you get
as a
out of
teeny
1,000.
tiny content creator, you love raids because you're like, oh my gosh, I suddenly have viewers. But like, it's one of those hard things for people to understand when they're very first starting out is just that it doesn't actually make
from
make
a
difference.
Statistical perspective,
and it makes a moral difference or a morale difference. Like it makes you feel good, and that's great.
But it's as you said, it's the constant followers, the fans that are the main source of views and that to the channel. But it's absolutely true. It's like it's just a number. If you're trying to make affiliate, raids are awesome for that moment. Afterwards, it's, as you said, there's a huge drop off. I've been raided with 200 people, and within 5 minutes it dropped right down to 7. It's like, oh, thanks. So as you said, it's
and you also don't want to generate, because when you raid somebody, your audience is not the same typically as what
absolutely they're watching something totally different now.
Like, and so that's the thing is like, it's really just about consistency and just like making good content and keeping at it, because the audience will be found for you. Like that's those things. There's no tips or tricks. There's no like hacks to making it on YouTube. If you have good content, you'll do well on YouTube. If you if you're a good live streamer, somebody will find you if you're on other platforms. And so that's that there's no trick. I think people wish that there was, but it's just do good and keep at it,
But speaking of followers that are dedicated, I mean, I've just had, thank you, Wendy, in the garden, where she says, I have weather and time for both Vancouver and Durban on my phone. Like, aww. You see, that's the kind of stuff that makes me want to make more content now. I'm like, well, I need to reward this loyalty or following or support just because it's like, I feel like we are making a difference in a very small way. And you know, it's not about how big the difference you can make, it's whether or not you can make a difference in any way. But Daily Planner asks a question here. Is there a time after AMA can KP tell us what did the otter break on Thursday? Sorry, I just read this question live.
Yeah. Well, I'll stream after the AMA is over, and you guys can feel free to come on over. Yeah, there are pictures of me trying to fix things with a hammer, and So
I hope
was an
those
issue.
that took the pic just remember to be respectful, and most of it's fine, but it's like what? Okay, I see. That's what they want to ask afterwards. Sorry, Ray. Is there any questions on your side? Ray was a streamer too, by the way.
I do have. Well, yeah, I've not been able to stream lately, so I'll just mod. So some of the questions that I do still have is one of them is for you, KP, because you are getting close to making partner. Your 1 year is coming up, and what are your goals after you reach partner?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't think it ever really stops, right? I literally kind of what we were just talking about. I want thousands of people to come and watch. I want I want to have a big amazing community, and I would eventually, I think, love to do it full time. So so it's something that so that those are the types of goals. I mean, it doesn't just stop at partner. I mean, there are other things that that come out of that, but that is a huge goal of mine. I'd love for it to happen before my 1 year Twitch anniversary, but I don't know if it's 100% in the cards. But I also one of the things that I really love that we've been doing is our charity streams. I think that that's going to be a huge staple of this channel, and I'm super pumped about it because I think that it's a really sort of unique thing that to have a channel that's doing 2 or 3 times a year really big fundraisers. But yeah, I mean, then maybe my goals move a little bit towards YouTube and being a little bit bigger on YouTube. It's hard for anybody outside the US right now, because US content creators, and not just US, as I think Brazil and some other areas have a lot more access to they could make money on TikTok, for instance. Yes. They make money per 10,000 views. Well, yes. I have a video with 50 million views, so that would have been nice. Or even on YouTube, there's a new super thanks button coming out for videos. I want that button, Yes, yes. But it's not available right now for me. So some things like that are a little bit difficult. So but yeah, I mean some of my more immediate goals, obviously, partner on Twitch. I want to have 10,000 followers on Instagram so that I can do the swipe up, man. I just really want to be able to have the swipe up link. I'd love to have 1 million followers on TikTok. Yeah, big goals. Big goals. But I'd love to have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
But it's good to have this. Yeah. Oh yes, 10,000. I'm on that goal too. I won't lie. The 10,000 subscriber mark, where all those other features get unlocked. I don't want to lie. It's for the features. It's these are such amazing features. They could expand so much. Of what I can do. I swear to God, I'm not drinking beer. It could expand so much of what I can do on the channel and what I can, and how the community grows. So yeah, it is a goal. It's not something that I'm relying on, but it is something that I hope one day I can achieve. I'm not even trying to get to partner status on Twitch, or it's not. I would love to make it, but it's not a thing, because I've got everything except viewers. I've got everything covered. Everything is done except the average 75 viewers per stream. But I'm happy with my community at the moment. I'm happy with the people that I get. But yeah, I have to have 70. KP, I wish you the best, but yeah, 75 average viewers.
Yeah, I'm at 70 right now, so
that's good. You'll make that
pump
average.
it up. Pump it up.
It's just gotta pump it
But
up.
yeah.
But yeah, YouTube's my main focus and goal when it comes to the content. But it is a different time. James won on penny.
You know what? One thing I want to quickly touch on, because I know we're nearing the end of this though, is the whole. I don't know if you get into this. I never knew about this beforehand. Impostor syndrome. This is a real thing. And I didn't Double's been experiencing it for years because he's always in a creative field. I think it affects creative types more than anything else. But it's I've experienced it for the very first time this year, just through like this whole content creation thing. Like I'll have some of the best, streams of my life and just, really having a great time and everything's amazing, and like just the whole night just like, man, that was amazing, and then the next morning be like, I'm trash, I'm always gonna be trash, like, and it doesn't make any sense. So it's an interesting thing that I've had to kind of educate myself about, and so yeah, I mean, I think that's a big thing for content creators too, and it's hard to get past that to feel worthy all the time.
Yeah.
Hands up.
But yeah, I've definitely learned about imposter syndrome. I'm lucky I haven't suffered. On my side, it's just I have the anxiety fears that I know the more people get involved in certain things, with anything, no matter what it is in life, the more people that get involved, the more drama that's attached to it, the more politics that's attached to it. I mean, I've already experienced that. And that's my fear, that I get to a point where there's such an audience that it's almost like constant housekeeping. I don't know if that makes sense, like constant like managing an audience or things like that, which is something that I fear a lot of. That's my biggest fear or biggest thing, is the anxiety of like, oh God, I hope no one's unhappy today. It's a horrible thing to have. It's a horrible thing to feel like, I hope this person's happy today. I hope I've made.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is a strange thing that I think now is getting talked about more, which I think is amazing, and I think the more and more people feel comfortable about talking about how they feel and stuff like that, the more that we get to understand a little bit more about it, and hopefully the more help that people can get and things like that. But yeah, imposter syndrome is like, can like ruin your day. I tell you.
It's like a touch wood. I hope I never get it, because it is that horror, like that your success is not deserved, and it's like, yeah, it's like
even sometimes at work, I'll be looking around and it's like me and Jess and Nadine are like the only people working, and I'm like, who is letting these children run around? Like, why are we allowed to do this? And then I remember that I'm 33 years old and I'm an adult, and that's why I'm allowed to do it. But it's, it's like it's funny. It's an interesting thing. The brain is odd.
I do get that sort of. You almost touched it, but it's almost like sometimes when you look in the mirror and you're like, "What the fuck you doing?" Like, the only time I have things like, sometimes I'll make a silly video in that, and in the moment I'm having fun, and I go watch it back, and I'm like, Jason, you are way over the your 30s mark. You shouldn't be doing shit like that. Like, I'll have a cringe moment, but it's gone away. But that's the only time it's like, okay, I'm in my 40s and I'm making a TikTok video. And it's such a stupid thing, because that's society. Like, I don't need to be 18 if you make a TikTok video. I'm like, who do you think made this shit? That's the only time I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? But yeah, I haven't had imposter syndrome yet. I've just had like fear of drama syndrome. That's been my biggest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah.
That has been an hour of talking. I don't even think we got through all of Ray's. Ray's busy in the background like, oh God damn it. I got 3 questions in.
No, I've been marking everything
That
off.
was good. That was good though. It was interesting. A different little topic.
It was very interesting. And as always, our lovely Raya with all her admin skill will post up of what topic we'll be talking about next week. I'm very glad we got back to the AMA, and this was a nice topic to introduce, because as you also can see, sometimes we're not always here. Sometimes the real world takes us under their wing, and sometimes we can't always meet our promises, inverted commas. So this is why, even on my side, my schedule is not a definite schedule. I'm like, I promise I'll have I might have something else on the weekend, but it might not happen. There's a lot of planning that goes behind that. So I'm glad that you're back, KP, because like I said, people didn't see the amount of preparation and be like, KP's not going to be here. We need to plan around it. It's being a content creator on both sides. It's even this, what we're doing now, it's a plan. It's all planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much, KP. It was a really engaging topic. It was nice to share or see your side versus my side in that. I definitely think
interesting.
it'll be nice to, like I said, it's not even in my radar, but it'll be nice to see if you can reach partner status soon. It's been a very different year, and thank you for the content that you release. And guys, speaking of content creators, you are going to be streaming after this, correct?
Yes, I am going to stream for a little while after this. Sorry, I was reading a question in chat.
I've even had to.
Yeah, I'm gonna stream for a little while over here. So yeah, if you've got other questions that are non-content related, feel free to come on over. We can chat about the aquarium or whatever.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much. I'm gonna chat to my little audience for a little bit, but thank you so much, KP. I really appreciate it, and then I'll send them all to your side.
Yeah. All right.
But thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
Thank you, Raya.
Bye.
And we got the blue screen. Whoops. Let's go. Let's just close everything on that side. I'd like to thank you. I'm just going to post links there for... we've had to change links. I didn't even tell the moderators. I would also like to add on our side, it's not just me on my side that makes such a big difference and keeps us going. For all of you that are often regulars on our Discord, trust me, I'm constantly thinking how we can reward all of you for always being here for us, always chatting, even when I'm not here, Nat, you're always chatting with each other. You're part of the community, and I hope that it's a safe and happy place that you could do. But I would like to personally shout out to all our moderators. I mean, Tessa, you see her on Twitch and YouTube constantly. She's here. It's such a big relief when you can't actually manage your own channel. So she is there. So thank you, JJ Bond and Moneypenny. So Tessa's always here. And I really appreciate the guys there. I mean, we have our moderators that really help on Discord, the Kabadge, DeFi, and Pugmom. Those ladies really help us on that side as well. They're not always there, but they're giving up this time. I mean, Tessa's a volunteer, and she's giving up her time on that. And obviously to our admins, you don't often see two of them, but to Aaron and Tiny Tuber, who are part of the Taz Talk teams. They're admins of the Discord channel, and they are there when I am not. So when I took time off, they have all of them together. They managed to keep the channel going while I was away, to the point where I don't actually even consider the Discord channel just mine anymore. It's this like shared platform now where we finally got a vanity. Thank you for all you guys that boosted. I didn't even know you could do that with the gifted nachos, by the way. So it's not something that I didn't give the gifted nachos away because I thought everyone's going to boost the channel. I didn't even think you could do that with the gifted nacho, but I thank you for choosing my channel. It is no obligation that we have a vanity. So yeah, it feels like that there only 4 of us are regulars. No, there's definitely a lot more. If I said 4, I'm sorry that I said 4. I'm mentioning to all our regulars. All of you on the VEO on the Discord side are regulars, but you make this easy for us to keep doing this till the 4 a.m.s. So I really appreciate all of you for the support you've given me this year, because I know it's been a bit of a troubled year. We've had a bit of controversies here and there, and I really thought I was going to lose touch with that community. And I thought, shit, despite regardless of who's right or wrong, that wasn't the point. It was just that loss. Yeah, and we have plenty of regulars. I mean, all of you here, we have plenty of regulars. So the fact you constantly show the support is makes it worthwhile. Spoiler alert, tomorrow is going to be a Taz Talks episode. We're having an early Taz Talks episode because it's Cat Mai's birthday. And we really planned hard for this one. TinyTube and Aaron, we had been writing this, we've been thinking about the script for about 2 weeks. There are some of you that inspired us to make a channel, so you didn't necessarily give the ideas, but we took a bit from the channel, like, oh, this person said this person said that, this person said that. We need to create something about this. So tomorrow we're having a birthday Katma episode. I will say this in advance. It is going to be in a rather different tone because it's Katma and it's a birthday, and we wanted to do a little bit of an extended story about Katma. So be ready. It's going to be a different episode. Please let me know if you like that tone of episode as well, if you enjoy it. And for all of you, we've had comments where people say, can you make the Taz Talks episodes a bit longer? As we've just discovered, it takes a long time to produce that things. And I'm quite sure TinyTuber and myself would absolutely 100% love if these sort of things were our full-time jobs, but she has a job and she has your commissions. So it's time related. It's not that we don't want to make it longer. I'd love to make them longer. But it's just about time and making sure we give you something at least towards the end of the week. And TinyTuber does do most of the work in terms of the artistic side of things. There's a lot of direction there, but she is the largest contributor to that stuff. And Aaron has helped a lot with the script. So a lot of the times if I'm really stumbled and busy, I'll just be like, listen, here's a storyline, write me is there anything. She'll write the script, I'll go in there and change it a little bit, add my bit of humor, add a bit of value. But basically most of the time, if I'm really busy, the crux of it is there. So this is a whole team effort. So I really appreciate your support because there's a lot of people involved. And of course, as mentioned, Tess are always announcing things, And the other moderators for helping keeping the channel functional and pushing people to where they need to be. Like, you need to post here and please do it there. But obviously, we also understand you guys are adjusting to the new channel. So please don't take it as a hostile thing if we ask you to move a post to a different channel. We're just trying to help teach the audience where to go. We still love you all being there. But thanks so much, guys. That's been the end of the stream. If you're on Twitch, we're about to do a raid. Even though you're probably already there. It's just fun to do. And thank you to everyone that's been here with me right now. I really appreciate it. So thank you, guys. And as always, we'll catch you next time. Let's send our 4 viewers from Twitch. Even though they got 37, all them to that side. We'll check you later. See you on the chan. See you on the Discord. Follow us there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.